Very good morning, students. This is Professor KV here. Once again, I'm here to bring few words to your kind consideration regarding with the women's rights, especially the principles of gender equality enshrined in the Indian Constitution. The principle of the gender equality is enshrined in the Indian Constitution and in its preamble. The fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and even the directive principles. The Constitution not only grants equality to women but also empowers the state to adopt the measures to positive discrimination in favor of women. Dear students, what actually happens here is that within the framework of the democratic, especially polity, or laws or developments, policies or plans or programs even have just aimed at the women's achievement, especially for the advancement concept, especially in the different space that maybe India has also ratified various international, conventional and even human rights instruments very committing to ensure equal rights of women. So that key among them is the ratification of the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, that's called CEDAW in 1993, that is called 1993. So what actually Indian Constitution, especially that Constitution gives a very provisions to Indian women. So the Constitution of India not only grants equality to women but also empowers the state to adopt measures of positive discrimination in favor of women for naturalizing the cumulative socio-economic, educational and even political disadvantage faced by them, that is women. So that fundamental rights among others ensures equality before the laws and even equal protection of specially law, so that prohibits discrimination against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth, and even guarantee equality of opportunity to all citizens in matters of releasing to employment. Article 14, 15, 15 bar 3, 16, 39A, 39B, 39C and even the final is called 42 of the Constitution are the specific importance in this regard. So the constitutional privileges, especially equality before law for women, especially that Article 14, the state not to discriminate against any citizen on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth or any of them. Article 15 bar 1. So that state to make any special provision in favor of women and children. That is Article 15 bar 3. Try to understand, it's Article bar 15 bar 3. So equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters releasing to employment or appointments to any officer under any office under the state. Article 16. So Article 39 bar A, which says the state to direct its policy towards securing for women equally. That means the policy towards securing for men and women equally the right to an adequate means of livelihood. That's article number 39, what I told earlier, A. And 39B says that equal pay for equal work for both men as well as women. So there is no discrimination between them. Men, who may be men or women, equal pay for equal work. So that is article number 39 bar B. So to promote justice on a basis of equal opportunity and to provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or scheme or in any other ways to ensure that the opportunities of securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. That is article number 39 bar A. Then article 42, the state to make provision for securing just and human conditions. I'm telling about, try to understand, the state to make provisions for specially securing just and human conditions of work and even for maternity relief. That's called article number 42. So 46 article is the state to promote with a special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker section of the people and to protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitations. So the state to raise the level of nutrition and even the standard of living of its people, article number 47, to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people in India and to renounce the practice derogatory to the dignity of women, article number 51 bar A in slash of E. Not less than one third, that is including the number of seats reserved for women belonging to the scheduled caste and even scheduled tribes. Try to understand, SC, ST. Those seats are reserved for the women belonging to SC, ST, including that's the number. So the total number of seats to be filled by the direct election in every panchayat to be reserved for a woman special, and such seats to be allotted by the rotation of different constituency in panchayat. That is article 243 D bar slash of 3. So not less than one third of the total number of offices of chairperson, especially in the panchayats at the each level to be reserved for women, article number 243 D bar slash of 4. So not less than one third, including the number of seats reserved for women especially belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, of the total number of seats to be filled by the direct election in every municipality to be reserved for women, and even such seats to be allotted by a rotation to a different constituency in municipality. That is article number 243 T bars of slash 3. So that reservation of offices, especially for the chairpersons in municipalities for the scheduled caste and in scheduled tribes and the women in such manner as the legislature of the state may be law provide, article 243 T bar of slash 4. So what are the legal provisions? So to uphold the constitutional mandate, the state has enacted various legislative measures, especially intent to ensure equal rights, to counter social discrimination and even various forms of violence and we are calling as atrocities, and even provide support services especially to working women. Although women may be victims of any of the crimes such as murder, robbery, cheating, etc. So the crimes which are directed very specifically against women are characterized as the crime against women, and these are broadly classified under the specially two categorized. Let me take one example again the same. And the next called is IPC, that's called Indian crime identified under the Indian Penal Code. Rape, section 376 IPC. Kidnapping and abducting for different purposes, section 363 and 373. My dear students, try to understand. I will give you PDF notes later on. You just better to listen carefully. Once again, I shall be pardoned for that. Rape, section 376 IPC. Kidnapping and abduction for the different purposes, section 363 and 373. Homicide for especially dowry and dowry deaths and their attempts, section 302 bar 304 B IPC. Torture, both mental and physically, section 4998 A IPC. Molestation, especially section 354 IPC. Sexual harassment, section 509 IPC. Importation of girls up to 21 years of age. And the SLL, the crimes identified under the special laws, SLL, special laws. Although all laws are not gender specific, but actually the provisions of the law affecting women significantly have actually been reviewed periodically and even amendment carried out to keep pace with the emerging requirements. Some acts which have specially provisions to safeguard women and even their interests are the Employees State Insurance Act 1948, that's called 1948. The Plantation Labor Act 1951, that is 1951. The Family Courts Act 1954, that is 1954. The Special Marriage Act 1954, that is 1954. The Hindu Marriage Act 955, that is 1955. The Hindu Succession Act, that is 1956, with the amendment in the 2005, that is 2005. Immoral Traffic, that is called Prevention Act 1956, that is 1956. The Maternity Benefit Act, that is 1961, amendment 1995, that is 1995. Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, that is 1961. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, that is 1971, that is called 1971. The Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition, that is called Act 1976, that is 1976. The Equal Remuneration Act, that is 1976, that is 1976. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, that is 2006. The Criminal Law Amendment Act 1983, that is 1983. The Factories Amendment Act 1986, that is 1986. Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986, that is 1986. Commission of Sati, that is Prevention Act of 1987, that is 1987. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, that is 2005. Special initiatives for women is National Commission for Women. In January 1992, the government set up these statutory boards with a special mandate to study and monitor all matters relating to the constitutional and even legal safeguards provision to women, review the existing legislation and even to suggest amendments whatever necessary if it is, etc. So the reservation for women in local self-government, because in my last period I discussed about the reservation bill related with the local self-government, that is maybe your political views, just we have kept as a political view, just we have seen it. But however, so the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act passed in 1992 by the Parliament ensure 1/3 of the total seats for women in elected officers in local bodies, whether in rural areas or in urban areas, whether they are in rural areas or urban areas. So that in the National Plan of Action for the Girl Childhood, that is called National Policy of Action for Girl Child 1991 to 2000. So the plan of action is to ensure survival, protection and development of the girl child with the ultimate objective of building up a better future of the girl child. So the national policy for the empowerment for especially women 2001, the Department of the Women and Child Development in the Ministry of Human Resources Development, the HRD, has prepared a national policy for especially empowerment of women in year 2001. And the goal of this policy is to bring about the advancement, especially development and even empowerment of the woman. So these are about the total concept of women rights and the principles of gender equality in the ancient, especially and the provisions of Indian Constitution. So in my next period, once again, I shall be there for you to bring a very new concept. Have a nice time. Take care of yourself. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.